Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Need to Nerd podcast. I'm your host, Spencer, just like every week, and I am joined by my co-host, a man who is obsessed with the Johto region, Wes Singleton.
All I want is a Steelix and a Scissor, baby.
Scizor is actually one of my favorite Pokemon. So
It's also one of the most powerful Pokemon ever made.
yeah, he's just a sweetheart, if we're being honest.
Yeah, because base 130 attack bullet punches with Technician.
I
Sweetheart.
I don't have any interest in knowing the competitive scene West. I think that it would ruin Pokemon for me. I've thought long about this. We'll actually get into this during the episode because this week we are talking about our Need to Nerd Pokemon Edition. This is kind of a series that we do to kind of break out into parts of our nerddom. You know, we've done our Need to Nerd books, we've done our Need to Nerd video games, and you know, as we go forward, we want to expand into things that really impacted us as nerds. So this time we're doing Pokemon. We actually have a guest already lined up. The episode date is set for Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. So this week, though, as you know, we didn't need a guest for this one, Wes. You and I can cover our Need to Nerd on Pokemon. Before we do that, though, Wes, some housekeeping. Don't forget to check out the Discord. We already had our MTG event. There are talks of future Pop-Up events. There are talks of Smash events. I'm going to be dropping, as soon as the bracket is live for March Madness in basketball in our Fantasy Sports channel, I will be dropping a contest link, and people can join that if they're into that. So there's all kinds of ways to turn it out in the Discord, and I'm excited to kind of continue that. Also, if you want to support the show directly, head on over to patreon.com/EasyGameMedia. It is the best way to support the show financially, outside of, you know, the best ways to support it as far as sharing it with your friends, liking us on the YouTubes, leaving us a podcast review. Those are obviously amazing ways to do that as well. But if you're looking to give some financial support, right now the best way to do that is over on the Patreon. West, with all that being said, I looked long and hard today for Pokemon facts. And the one that I found the most interesting is one that I did not know. And I'm sure that a lot of our listeners knew this. But there is a specific reason that Meowth has his number in the Pokedex. Did you know that?
Meowth's number in the Pokedex is 27? No, that's Sandshrew.
He's 52.
52.
Because Pikachu's is 25.
Oh.
And they're supposed to be opposites.
Cat and mouse.
Cat and mouse, opposites in the Pokedex, and also opposites in the anime. I did not know that.
That's surprising to me.
Yeah. And that was one that I really enjoyed. It's also funny because I already gave a Pokemon Nerd Fact of the Day like a couple weeks ago when I talked about the releases of Pokemon games that would have been mine for this one, that they've actually never had 2 years without a Pokemon release for a mainline title. But let's get into this, West, because it's funny to me your love for Pokemon is so strong. And the reason that it's funny to me is because you didn't have cable as a kid. You didn't have access to a Game Boy Color as a kid until you were a little bit older. And yet Pokemon is like a love of yours. Like a love.
And it started well before I got access to
cable or
conventional ways of playing it. Absolutely.
So
I remember everything I could possibly get Pokemon related to the library. I picked that up as a kid. I, milked every bit of time with a friend that I could be playing Pokemon I milked as a kid. I hustled to do Pokemon stuff as a kid, for sure.
So in our Need to Nerd series, I like to kind of go over how these impacted us and like what our first memories of it are. And it's actually really hard for me to know what my first Pokemon memory was. And because for me, like, I got a Game Boy Color in Pokemon the year that it was the big thing to get it. I watched the Pokemon anime when it was, first airing. I I had Pokemon cards before the TCG player version of the game existed, and they were literally just cards with pictures of Pokemon that they sold in, packs. Like, so for me, my fondest earliest memories are there are two different ones. One is the summer after Pokemon came out. Um, my best friend and I at the time found out about the Mysterio cheat in I also was one of the lucky kids. My best friend got red and I got blue, like just by coincidence. And so, uh, we spent a summer, got infinite rare candies, got all of the Pokemon to level 100, cloned them all because you could pull out your fat side of the cable from your Game Boy Color to clone your Pokemon. There's new ways to clone Pokemon, by the way, but that's the OG way.
I remember how to do it in Gold and Silver, clear as daylight.
Yeah. But so we cloned all of our Pokemon. Got infinite Master Balls, got infinite rare candies, completed the Pokedex, and just showed up to school the first day the next year, and just thrashed people.
Smackdown.
Just thrashed people. They're like, "You guys want to have a Pokemon battle at recess?" And we're like, "Yeah, we do." And just like it was like our teams were like level 100 Gengar, level 100 Zapdos, level 100 Articuno, level 100 Moltres, level 100 Mewtwo, and then whatever our starter was because we were kids. It was so funny. And then my second earliest memory, it's not really my earliest memory, but it's like a pretty big core memory for me. If you guys have watched Inside Out, is there was a time where I was supposed to mow the lawn, and the internet was still young when Pokemon was a thing. Like you heard Mr. Tales of Peekaboo and things like that as a kid, and all that kind of stuff. And we didn't know the Kanto League had ended, and Ash was leaving. And as a kid, I was like, well, there can't be anything after this. The show is ending. And so, I thought that it was going to be one of the last episodes of Pokemon ever, and my mom was trying to make me mow the lawn and not watch it. And like we didn't have a DVR or anything back then, and so I missed this.
You missed it forever.
I just would never have another chance to watch it. And I remember just being so upset that my mom was trying to not let me watch this episode, that my older brother like had to talk her into it. He's like, just let him watch, like he'll do it after, just like this is clearly important to your kid. And it was like probably one of the first times that any of my siblings stood up for me and like things that were important to me. I might cry. I didn't think I was going to cry during this episode, but I don't know. It was the episode where Pidgeotto evolves, and I don't know. As somebody that like watched the whole anime, it like was even more impactful, right? Like my brother stood up for me this day. This Pokemon that Ash had with him from, the second episode. One of his strongest Pokemon finally evolves into Pidgeot, takes down the Sparrow that had evolved from the Sparrow that Pikachu took on. It was just this culmination of Pokemon for me in a lot of ways. It is a huge core memory for me. Like I remember that day extremely vividly, and I think I'll probably always remember that episode. It's that one and the Pokemon archaeology episodes that like really stuck out of my head. But those are like my biggest and first Pokemon memories.
The Pokemon archaeology episodes totally stick out of my head too.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I mean, there's a reason why, right? Charmeleon evolving into Charizard is just like, it's so cool.
It is so cool.
And then Togepi shows up, well, as an egg for the first time, and
yeah,
it's an awesome set of episodes.
It is. Talk to me about you though. I kind of talked about my core memories, my first memories. What are yours?
So, I mean, similar to you, it's really hard to trace like where like my first ever interaction with Pokemon was, like the first thing I ever saw Pokemon related. But I can really tell you something that just monopolized my time as a kid, and like I really poured over before I had any access to playing the games for myself, before I had any Pokemon cards. And that was, there was this novelization of a playthrough of Pokemon Red called Pokemon Pathways to Adventure. And it was like literally just like a blow by blow of someone playing through the game, skipping over it started to skip towards the ends because it was, getting long for a kid's book or whatever. But like when I finally got my hands on Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, I knew everything I was going to do and where to go and what to do because I had already done it. I'd already read it so many times. But man, that game was just like, I don't know, it sparked like that book just sparked something within me. And like, first off, that means I was like a 6-year-old and when I was reading this chapter book and over again.
That's so awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And that's actually always been one of the funny things is that Pokemon has brought me to reading many times in my life.
I am convinced it'll be the reason my kid learns to read. He already is like, Daddy, I want to play this Pokemon game, but like he needs me to read it to him, and he wants to play the TCG game, and he needs me to read it to him, and I'm like, dude, if you want to do this, you're gonna have to learn to read. And so he asks his mom to help him learn to read. I am fully convinced that Pokemon will be the reason my kid learns to read.
Yeah, and Magic's gonna be the reason he learns to read well.
I don't know. I don't know. He's not as interested in Magic as he is in Pokemon, so it might be a while.
It might be a while, but I have seen lots of kids go from like grade level reading ability for where they're at to like just like being able to parse complex sentences extremely well because of that desire.
Yeah.
But totally, these games, like, it's that desire, right? It's that need to understand that brings us to that like place where we're going above where we would normally be.
I want to talk about Pokemon starters for a minute. Because for a lot of people, like, Pokemon starters are like they are their not just their introduction into Pokemon, but like, they're the core of what Pokemon is for a lot of people. And so I just want to quickly, I'm gonna do this rapid fire, Wes. I'm gonna give you who I picked the first playthrough, and then I'm gonna give you my favorites through each gen. I'm gonna do this
for every gen. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it really quick. You can pull this up while I'm doing it.
I don't believe I have that immediately off the top of my head, but I would happily look at it.
Yeah. So the first time that I played Pokemon, I got Pokemon Blue. I picked Squirtle because, The second one I picked Totodile the first time that I played through. The third one I picked Mudkip the first time that I played through. The fourth gen I picked Piplup the first time that I played through. I did not play the next generation. Then I picked Froakie, my first playthrough. There's a theme here on my first playthroughs. Apparently, I'm a huge water Pokemon fan on my first playthroughs. Then we get to Alola, because like I said, we already skipped Black White. I picked one of my actual favorite final evolutions. Is oh my gosh, I'm gonna mess up his name. Decidueye?
Decidueye, yeah.
Decidueye. I just think he's like one of the coolest Pokemon ever. So I picked Rowlet, and then I picked Grookey. But these are actually not my favorites of starters, and I want to distinguish that. My favorite starters for each gen are Charmander. Yes, I'm a basic biatch. Actually, for the next one, I have different favorites for each evolution. My favorite base level is Chikorita. I think it is one of the cutest Pokemon that has ever been created. My favorite starter in that is actually Quilava. And then I think Meganium's probably my favorite, but it could be Feraligatr, just because that was the Pokemon that I picked. My favorite starter in Hoenn is actually Trico, but my favorite final evolution is actually Blaziken. I just like the whole Piplup line in the next one, the whole Rowlet line. Didn't play Black and White. Greninja is actually my second favorite Pokemon, so that's a pretty easy line. I already said that Decidueye is up there for me. and then I cannot decide between Scorbunny and Grookey, but I think that Rillaboom is my favorite of the final evolutions, and I also think that Grookey's super cute, so Grookey on that one too.
Fair enough. So, yeah, for me, I haven't, I can't say for sure, but because some of these things are really long time ago, but I am 99% that first time I ever played Pokemon Red or Blue, it was Charmander, because Charizard is dope, and I would have known that right off the bat. I was definitely on Totodile my first playthrough. I was definitely on Trico my first playthrough of Ruby Sapphire. Definitely chose Turtwig when I got Pokemon Diamond. Definitely chose Snivy when I got Black and White. Chespin when I got X and Y. Rowlet when I played Sun and Moon. Grookey when I played Sword and Shield. To bring it back to my absolute all-time favorite #1 Pokemon, you guessed it, 6 in a row grass type. I'm a Bulbasaur guy these days.
So wait, are your favorite starters for all of them the grass starters now?
There are, I think, 2 exceptions.
What are they?
They are Mudkip and Chimchar.
Interesting.
Love the whole Mudkip line.
I also just think that line. I mean, that one, the Gen 1 and the Gen 3 starters, and their lines are just
they're all class acts.
They're all just great.
Yeah, I full on agree.
Yeah.
Gen 5 is the hardest one for me to truly tell what I love the most, but that's because I don't like it. It's got the problem of not particularly loving anything.
Is that Black and White?
Yeah. Gen 6. I think Chespin's my favorite of the base levels, but you lose me the moment we get to Quilladin. Because Quilladin
and also,
just, what is going on?
And also Greninja's just one of the coolest Pokemon of all time. And that's not even getting to Ash Greninja if we're getting...
Yeah. Rowlet I love with all my heart.
Oh my gosh, that whole evolutionary line is sweet. That is...
It definitely... is mostly on Rowlet for me. Like, if I could just never evolve a Rowlet, I'd be so happy. Like, that guy's adorable the whole time.
I think he has a bow tie in all 3 evolutions, doesn't he?
I need to look at a
picture.
Oh,
you know what? I think the 3rd one is not technically a bow tie. It's like a clasp for his little leaf head thing.
Oh, sure. And easily the most maligned starter of all time, if you ask me, the one who gets the worst rap without ever actually deserving it, is poor baby Chikorita.
You know what?
Love me a Chikorita.
I get that Chikorita's line is not great competitively, but Chikorita is the cutest starter. Like, I think bar none. Like, I don't even think it's particularly close, and that's like with Piplup being in existence.
And you know what's funny, Spencer?
What?
If we were doing a battle of only level 7 starters, Chikorita wins hands down.
Does Bulbasaur not learn Leech Seed by then?
No, Bulbasaur does not learn anything by level 7. Chikorita knows Razor Leaf by level 7.
Oh, there you go.
Easily the most powerful move any of them have at that level by quite a considerable margin, plus a high critical hit ratio. So, like, if you were to replicate the data, Chikorita would be taking down... I mean, most of the, like... It's not until later gens where the Fire-type Pokemon even have their first Fire-type attack before level 7. But Chikorita is like a slam dunk at level 7. It's so powerful.
That's awesome. Let's talk anime really quick.
Yeah.
So I already talked about some of my fondest anime memories. I never know how to bring up my cousin Caleb in situations, for what it's worth. But one of my best friends who took his life, and if you wanted to go donate to a suicide prevention thing in his name, that would be greatly appreciated by me. We was talking to my uncle about him, and about Pokemon actually. And when he went and saw the Pokemon the first movie, he leaves the movie and he says to his mom and dad, he goes, "Do you guys think there will ever be a movie better than that movie?" And like, what more do you want from a kid that just saw the culmination of his childhood? And it's funny because I remember seeing Pokemon the first movie in theaters. I remember seeing Pokemon 2000 in theaters, and I remember the first all the way through Orange Islands. I think I watched literally all of that. I watched a lot of Gold and Silver. I watched a lot of. Go ahead.
I was just really confused by that Casey guy in Pokemon the movie 2000 for me at that time in my life because I'd never seen a Pokemon Orange Islands episode.
Wait, really?
Never. Not when I first watched Pokemon the movie 2000. Never had I once seen an
Orange Islands is
episode.
like a secret gem of the Pokemon anime.
Oh, I've since then come to learn that, but I had no idea at the time.
Yeah. What is the GS ball? We have no idea. What does it do? We don't know. But it's a great anime. So, it's the bridge.
Oh yeah.
But no, the anime holds a special place in my heart because I think that it paved the way for me to actually get into anime. So like, in order for me to like, Yu Yu Hakusho is one of my favorite TV. I just watched like 12 episodes the other day, but I don't know that I would have gotten into Zoids, Gundams, Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball Z, Rurouni Kenshin. If I don't even know that like Avatar I would love the same way if it weren't for the Pokemon anime. Just preparing me for that. And I also think that this Japanese children's anime having this spot on American Saturday morning cartoons was pretty impactful. Like, you know, I'd watch Batman Beyond and then watch Pokemon, and they're just so different. I don't get me wrong, I love Batman Beyond.
I love when the naturalization of the Pokemon anime just made no sense in America. Oh, what are we eating, Jenny? Jelly donuts. Hands him a rice ball.
Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. There was so much that I think that the Pokemon anime brought to America as far as just familiarizing yourself with the base concept of an anime.
And it had those moments too, right? That like it has that core importance of anime, which is about like unrelenting passion, right? Just like when you're willing to give it your all for something and care so much, right? That's the thing that really brings anime together.
And ridiculousness, right? Like,
oh yeah,
pouring water on an Onix so that your Pikachu can, you know, use Thunder Shock on it. Like, you know, it's just somebody starts the sprinklers. That's classic anime.
Also, yeah, Brock before he joins the party is so scary. He's so cool.
Yeah, it's the whole. I watched probably the first. And also, I guess I could I guess this is the time for me to say this now. It's also changed my relationship with my son because, like, even yesterday I was like, Maxwell, like my wife's been having a hard time lately. It's actually why we've missed so many episodes recently. You know, she's lost 50 pounds during this pregnancy, and you know, she needed a break. And I was like, Maxwell, do you want to go downstairs and watch a Pokemon episode? And he just snapped off yes. The other day, he came downstairs. We had like a slumber party where I just let him stay up late, and we watched Pokemon: The Mystery of Mew, Lucario: The Mystery of Mew. And you know, he wants to watch Pokemon the first movie all the time. It is just this thing that now I get to share with my son that you know, I'm nostalgic about and I can enjoy. Yesterday we watched the haunted house episode of X and Y, and you know, I've wanted to watch X and Y for years, and now I get to watch it with my kid, and I have not watched it before, and so it's kind of something that now I get to share with my kid too, and kind of introduce him to this thing that I loved so much. So, what about you? What does the anime mean to you? What are your core anime memories? I'm gonna be honest. I stopped watching it religiously after Orange Islands, but I did watch Gold Silver quite a bit, and I watched the beginning of Hoenn quite a bit.
Yeah. So for me, I never got to watch the anime serialized as a child. I only ever got to watch the anime if I happened to be having a sleepover at a friend's house who wanted to watch Pokemon on a Saturday morning, or if I could find the VHS or DVD of it, mostly the VHS of it because I didn't have a DVD player even for a very long time. Dude, at the public library.
Sleepovers and then waking up to watch Pokemon was core childhood.
Yeah. Oh, for
Like,
sure.
and then you got to watch like Static Shock or whatever the next slot was. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. And actually, a lot of what filled in my knowledge of what happened between episodes I had seen was reading books based on the anime. Like children's early reader books based on the anime was filled in a lot of my gaps for what I'd actually seen. But the memory I think of when I think of how much, it's twofold. When I think of how much Pokemon the anime means to me as a child, I think of when I first watched the Charizard Valley episode in the Gold and Silver series, when Ash lets Charizard go to join this valley of Charizards
So
in
had
order
you?
to become stronger,
Yeah.
because all of these other Charizards beat him up no problem. Of course, I knew the whole deal with Charizard before that. Ash's strongest Pokemon, but rarely listened to him, but was very intense on being the strongest. I was familiar with all of that, but man, that was the first time I really felt like I was losing a loved one in anything I ever watched.
So had you not watched Bye Bye Butterfree or?
No.
Oh man, dude, I remember crying during Bye Bye Butterfree. And I know a lot of people have that memory, and people like to make fun of people crying during Bye, but like I was a small child, and it was the first Pokemon this kid ever caught. And obviously I just mentioned the Pidgeot episode. Like that was, just ripping at my heartstrings.
Oh yeah, I mean that caring is so intense. I mean, also like Ash cries a lot in those episodes too, which
Yeah.
like that is something that you don't see like in American television marketed at that age, is like boys being that vulnerable and crying doesn't come up in either.
Yeah, I recently watched I Choose You with my son. It was probably like 2 weeks ago. And I think my really got my kid. Like that moment where it's actually the moment, I think the moment that upset him the most. He's so much like me. It's very scary. Do not have a kid that's exactly like you. It's like actually terrifying. But the
Yeah,
moment
make sure
where
that
Ash,
you've got stronger genetics than whoever your partner is.
yeah, the moment where Ash is like really mean to Pikachu and tells him he doesn't want to be his friend anymore, and my kid just like,
The heck, Ash!
no, he was so upset. He's like, he just couldn't handle. I'm gonna cry thinking about this because I think that. So,
Boy and his monster stories.
dude,
They're
I
so
mean,
good.
it's so funny because like I was just gonna talk about my dog, and like this love that I have for my dog Obi, and the love that I had for my dog Skoshi, and the love that I had for my dog Tasha, and it is just something that cannot. It's just different. It's a different kind of love and friendship, right? Because that thing loves you unconditionally.
Even when you make it fight for you.
Yeah. And I actually think that's why we'll get into this when we get to video games, actually. So I'll bring that up later.
Oh, I still have one more thing about the anime that I didn't quite finish when talking about the Charizard Valley stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, what I was gonna say is that I think that my kid really connects to Ash's relationship with Pikachu, and he wants a Pokemon partner, and so I'm sure that when he gets to this Charizard episode, it will break his heart because he loves Charizard.
Yeah. But what I was going to say is that that episode is so hard, so real, and so raw. But what makes it so powerful is when Charizard comes back. The first of Charizard's returns I saw myself was Pokemon the third movie, Spell of the Unknown Entei, when Charizard sees on TV that like Ash is struggling with this Pokemon to fight this Entei, flies all the way there and helps Ash just out in like the coolest sequence of like Pokemon battling like I'd ever seen, just because like they're like hopping around on all these like or all these like crystal pillars and everything, is just like such a moment. And then every time Ash comes back to help, or I mean Charizard comes back to help Ash overcome a Pokemon League or a really tough gym battle, like when Charizard shows up to help fight Claire at the end of it, it's like we've come full circle, let's go. Like it's so cool.
Yeah. Maxwell actually, that's the movie he wants to watch next. He really, because he's seen Entei in Pokemon I Choose You. He really wants to watch Mystery of the Unknown.
That one's a little screwed up. It's got some stakes. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Yeah.
there's some really strange stuff going on with that one.
So we've actually already covered movies a little bit, but I kind of want to talk about. I want to talk about the movies a little bit deeper, because I actually think Pokemon the first movie is actually just a great film.
Oh yeah, great morals, great music, good plot. It's all fantastic.
Yeah, I can't even. We actually watched for movie night one night. Maxwell wanted to watch the remake on Netflix, and I was furious.
You're like, no, we're not
By
watching.
No. I was totally down until My Brother didn't happen in that sequence. I was the score of Pokemon the first movie. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The lines, and then Meowth's monologue doesn't happen in the Netflix remake. I was so mad.
Meowth is such a good narrator too. He's such a good capstone on everything he does. He always brings it home.
But it's funny because as good as Pokemon the first movie is, Pokemon I Choose You, Pokemon the first movie, Pokemon the movie 2000, those three specifically to me like are just good movies. Like I don't know that you need to even know anything about Pokemon to love any three of those movies.
Oh yeah, my dad consistently walked in whenever I'd be watching Pokemon the movie 2000 as a child, right at the scene where Zapdos shows up. I don't know why, but that was always like 45 minutes into the movie, right when, a dad's like, where's my kid? Like, walks in, sees me watching it. He'd just stay the whole rest of the movie. Like, he just wouldn't leave. Like, he'd be transfixed.
You talk about, you've got Meowth narrating that. You've got Slowking narrating that. You've got the villain actually does a really good job in that movie expressing his intentions. You've got, I can't remember the girl's name. The tribe girl that plays.
Oh yeah, she's so cool.
She also does a good job of narrating like, this is what the legend says. I'm like, I don't know, just those three movies specifically, I just think are good films, and that even if you're not a Pokemon fan, you should probably watch them. What about you? Other than Pokemon, I mean, you have on our show notes, you owned the first three.
I watched those movies so many hours as a kid, like just over and over and over again, so many times.
You didn't own Pokemon Forever, man?
I love Pokemon Forever. I love it. Like, that is a fantastic film, but no, I did not own it.
Pokemon Forever is like probably the last, because the next one's the Latios movie, right?
That bad guy is so dope. He's got the coolest Pokemon.
Yeah, the
Tyranitar and Scizor.
Dude,
what a team. That guy is such a power gamer.
Dude, Pokemon Forever also has the best intro of any of the Pokemon movies.
Yes.
I don't know, it's dope. And also, I just watched a piece of that on the other day. For some reason, it was the part where Celebi is dead. It was on TikTok, and people were like, "If you didn't cry when Ash is like trying to revive this Celebi, you don't have a soul."
Every Pokemon game or Pokemon movie is just fantastic. I mean, I love the Latios one. I love the Jirachi one. Like,
I watched all of them because my little brother got into Pokemon after I was kind of done, right? So like, I watched the Latios one. I watched the Jirachi one. I watched Lucario and the Mr. Mew. I might have stopped after that one though.
All right. Real question, Spencer. What's your favorite Pokemon short?
That's kind of hard because like, it's hard not to say Pikachu's Vacation because I saw it like on the big screen, and I remember my whole family went to that movie. Like, it's one of like the parents dropped us off and we all watched it together.
That Dragonair flying around as the weather clears up after that, that's a beautiful moment. I love Dragonair.
I also like you got to see Snubble and Meryl and like
Yeah, no, that one. Not. I'm thinking of a different one. I'm thinking the one at the beginning of Pokemon the movie 2000,
yeah,
not the
you're
one at the beginning of
yeah, Pokemon
the first
Vacation.
movie.
Pokemon the Vacation. I did see a TikTok on this also. Apparently, I'm just on Pokemon TikTok now. I didn't realize that. Where people are freaking out because I never realized this as a kid, but apparently you've got Onyx holding the end of the rope to try and get Charizard out during that short, and Onyx is just not pulling his weight, which is like he's just sitting there, and you got Pikachu pulling really hard. But yeah, can I ask you a question? Do you think that I choose you? You saw that in theaters, didn't you?
No.
Man, I really wish I had. I thought about it when it was coming out, just because like it was supposed to be this retelling of a story that I already loved and stuff. But I don't know. I felt too old to do it, and I kind of regret it. So
Fair enough. But yeah, I love the Pokemon movies. They tend to usually really encapsulate what's great about Pokemon.
yeah,
And
apparently
the anime especially, which like is not the win the gym battle or not, but like can we like make these people's stories better? Can we bring them the happiness they want with the Pokemon they want to be with? Can we exercise the also? Oh my god! I just thought of it. The Pokemon battle that Ash has 6-on-6 at the beginning of the Entei one is just like one of the best 6-on-6 battles I've ever seen in a playground. It's so cool.
I actually really like the opening sequence to Pokemon the first movie, like when he's fighting the Donphan and like
Donphan's cool.
yeah, that whole sequence was sweet. Let's move on from movies because we've talked about them for a while. I want to talk about spin-offs. And because I know your love for Pokemon spin-offs, I want to go first on this one. So the first Pokemon spin-off that I probably ever really fell in love with was Pokemon Snap. And I probably put an inappropriate number of hours as a child into Pokemon. Like I didn't use the internet. I figured out the entire game all by myself. And like I can't tell you how many times that I just went somewhere and just threw an apple at every inch of the screen to try and figure out what apples did, and then pester balls at every inch of the screen to figure out what. Like I just was obsessed with Pokemon Snap. Like I wanted to be a photographer because of that game. To the point where like I straight up my dad bought me a camera. It was huge for me. And then I don't know, I just remember some of the other big Pokemon spin-offs for me were my friend had Hey You Pikachu and we would play that for hours even though it was impossible to play. And then Pokemon Stadium was just
Early
kind of
voice commands.
dude, it was so bad. Pokemon Puzzle League was like a huge one as well. But yeah, those were probably like my big early ones. I actually didn't. I don't think I ever owned Mystery. I think DX is the first Mystery Dungeon game that I owned personally.
Yeah. I honestly feel sad that I never had an N64 for. I mean, along with all the other reasons, I feel sad for never owning game consoles early in my life. But like the N64 Pokemon spin-off games, like hold up so well. They are all such beloved classics, too.
Pokemon Snap is literally 12 feet away from me inside of an N64 right now.
Yeah, and I cannot wait for Pokemon Snap 2. It's going to be so cool.
Shit, I can't wait either.
Except it's really Pokemon Snap 3, because Sun and Moon, am I right?
No, you're not right. You're not right. However, there was a really fun conversation about this in one of my group chats. When the game got announced, I was texting some of my friends, and I was so hyped for it, and Mason was so hyped for it, and then Matt Kling was like, augmented Pokemon Snap in real life win, and then Michael Hinderaker was like, they already have that. It's called Pokemon Go. You just take a screenshot of your phone.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, but like You know what I mean? And I was like, no, bro. There's literally Reddits where you post Pokemon Snap, where you post Pokemon Go screenshots and people score them. Like, that's a thing.
But yeah, I mean, Pokemon Snap is like something special in and of itself. There's like I cannot wait to play a new Pokemon Smash or Snap.
Did you get to play? Did you get to play the Pokemon Stadium games at all?
No, I played the Pokemon Coliseum games.
Okay.
A lot as a kid because I spent a lot of time over with GameCube games, but
okay.
Stadium and Revolutions were both very different than the Coliseum games. Was my experience.
Yeah, I actually found
the mini games are where it's at.
Yeah, the mini games were great, and also the challenges where like you had, you had to beat 4 trainers. I don't remember what the exact specifics were, but it was like, all right, now you've got to beat these dark trainers. Now you've got to beat these metal trainers and stuff like that. Those were really fun and like really helped you, I think, learn Pokemon strategy a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. But obviously, my love for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is something I've made very well known during my whole time making this podcast. Great plots, awesome gameplay. I don't care, IGN. Maybe learn how to play 40 hours of a game before reviewing it.
You know what? I don't understand the hate of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Oh, it's literally that the like first 3 people to publish reviews of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon played it for like 5 hours and were like, I don't get the game loop.
Yeah. I just picked up DX again. I've been playing it a lot the last like 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's everything, man.
Have you gotten through the main story yet?
No. I don't play any video game enough right now to complete it that fast, but
yeah,
I usually have like an hour or 2 a night to do video games.
Yeah.
So and that's not every night. That's like nights where my wife wants to go to bed early, kind of stuff.
Yeah. But love me the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games, but the real Pokemon video game spinoff I want to talk about does bring us into our next category, Spencer. Because it's so good.
Oh my gosh, it actually is.
Isn't it? Isn't it just so good?
Hold on. It is. I cannot believe I didn't say this during mine. Okay, so the best Pokemon spin-off game, and it is not even a little bit close, is the original, not the second one, Pokemon TCG Game Boy Color game.
Oh yeah.
Like and we say this as Mason was literally on the show and pulled out his Game Boy and showed us that he had it. Like it has an amazing story. Not amazing, but like passable story. Like
the story is surprising, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. The card acquisition system is actually not that bad, especially with like if you played like the Yu-Gi-Oh game.
It makes free-to-play TCG games look so bad.
Oh, it really does. Yeah, that game is so good.
But mostly this is on the strength of 2 things I believe that are true about the Pokemon TCG. First, it's a really good game.
Yes.
Second, less than 10% of all people who have ever owned Pokemon cards have ever played a proper game of the Pokemon TCG. That's the real problem here, and that's what this game does such an excellent job to solve.
Oh, I mean, it teaches you the game so well.
Teaches you the game, lets you play the game. That's great. Being able to single player play Pokemon TCG is amazing because I kid you not, it was so hard for me as a kid who actually knew how to play the game, actually knew how to build a deck, to find opponents that wanted to play a game of Pokemon TCG. It was such a struggle.
Yeah, that game. That's another one. I talked to a couple. I don't know when I talked about this, but like I talked about how like I'll do a replay of either Fire Red or Leaf Green, and then I'll do a play of Ruby or Sapphire or Emerald every like 2 years or so. I also do one of that game every
What's
other.
Your end game deck?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm such a tryhard now. It's almost always a Scyther Hitmonchan deck now.
Oh, that's cool. I'm a power level of Blastoise just to be.
So that was what I used to do almost all the time. I'm a ramp player in Magic, right? So obviously I'm a Blastoise player, and like literally, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the moment I was like, oh, play any number of energy, that seems powerful.
I'm pretty sure, literally in this deck box, is
That Blastoise. Yeah, buddy.
Like-
Love to see it.
Like this
You know what strat I've always wanted to go back and try and run the game with? Moltres Mill.
That's right.
Nice tokens, Spencer. Nice tokens. But I've always wanted to go back and try and beat that game using. So Moltres has this awesome mill cards from your opponent's deck. Put cards from the top of their deck into their discard pile.
Yeah.
Based on the number of fire energies on it, and I've always wanted to just like build a deck that just like abuses that. It seems like it would be so much fun, but like also really hard.
That's gas.
Yeah.
This is so fun. I have not opened this deck box in a while.
I know. I miss being able to play paper trading card games with people on a regular basis.
Well, it's so funny too, because I'm like, what's the most useless thing in your house? And it's like, this thing that I bought in.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
When am I ever gonna set a thing on an adventure?
Just never. Just never. Anyway, you got me all nostalgic, and I'm like looking at these Blastoise. But legitimately, like that Blastoise ramp deck, or I don't know what they call it in the. They actually had a
Turbo Stoice.
A Turbo Stoice deck like a couple years ago. I think like three to 5 years ago.
When Pokemon Revolutions was in TCG. Or Pokemon Evolutions, like when they had a
No. It was actually before that. There was another I actually have those Blastoise somewhere too. Where it was a Blastoise remake that had the kind of the same ability where you could do stuff on it. And I had the Pokemon Online TCG client, by the way, is lit. And I bought like 1,000 booster pack codes, and one of them came with.
That's the most important thing, listeners. If you want to get into Pokemon TCG, the thing to know is that the online client, every single physical Pokemon booster pack has a code to open a pack online in it, and for the most part, people who want physical cards are not the people who want digital cards, and the other way around, and so they're very easy to get.
Yeah,
it's
so I bought
fantastic system.
I bought like 1,000 of those, and you can they have QR codes, so you can just scan them in. They're pretty easy, and one of the codes that I got was the Blastoise Keldeo deck.
Okay.
So they have not done this deck.
Keldeo, you mean?
Is it Keldeo?
Unless you're talking about Kecleon.
No, it's like the unicorn Keldeo. Anyway, so like I actually just had like, a tier 1 or 2 Pokemon deck for a while until it rotated out, and then I switched to like this Zubat deck. So if we're gonna talk about the TCG player, like I actually think that Pokemon TCG Online is the best online TCG client there is.
You said this 2 or 3 weeks ago on this.
Yeah, I think that it is better than MTGA. I think it's better than Hearthstone. I think it's better than. I just think it's the best. I don't even think it's close. Like, now that being said, I am not a competitive Pokemon TCG player. I have played in tournaments. I have a winning record in Pokemon TCG tournaments. That's actually a fun story that I'll tell on the podcast. And if you're like a Pokemon TCG player and like you think I'm talking crap, I promise I'm not. But I am a fairly competent Magic the Gathering player. And so I wanted to play Pokemon, and I just showed up to a Pokemon tournament, and I was like, hey, does somebody have a deck I could borrow? And somebody handed me Mono Pink, and I went. I think that I was 3-0. No, I was 2-0-1 because we got a tie somehow. I don't remember how it happened. And then I conceded the last round because I didn't need the prizes, and like our winner would get prizes. And then in my next tournament, I went 2-1. So I actually have a winning record in Pokemon tournaments, and it is all from playing Magic the Gathering and Isn't
it so easy to get card advantage in Pokemon?
It's so crazy how many cards you can. Can we just talk about like how sweet it is that I get to the best part of Magic the Gathering is drawing cards, and in Pokemon,
man, it's so
you
free
just
in
get to
Pokemon.
do it. You just get to do it, and it's like, and every time
the hand size on the Pokemon TCG,
dude, there's so many better cards. You get Wheel of Fortune. You get Wheel of you get Wheel of Fortune for free. Like every time I try to explain Pokemon, it's just like, yeah, it's like
it's vintage.
It's like vintage if all your creatures sucked.
Yeah, so like old vintage.
It's like
Slash Panther vintage.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's not. No, they're not even Slash Panther good. Like. Slash Panther has haste, awesome. Man. Come on.
Pokemon TCG game is so good.
But I think that the TCG also is just like for a TCG. Well, I think Magic the Gathering is the best game ever made. I think that Pokemon TCG is like a constructed. Obviously, you can't really draft. I know people play Sealed of Pokemon, but it seems horrendous.
No idea how that one works. No, not at all. I won't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
I think that like the Pokemon TCG. I watched Worlds like 3 years in a row a while back, and you know some formats get a little degenerate and stuff like that. But the game overall is just really great. You get to play with these things that you really care about. It's not that hard to care about them. And it's I don't know. It's really cool.
I also don't think we mentioned a really important part of the Pokemon TCG as it exists right now, which is that its foils, its ultra rares, its secret rares are all just amazing.
Oh, this is a good opportunity.
The cards look so good.
This is a good opportunity. So good. This is a good opportunity for me to sit on a high horse and say, if you are a scumbag who is buying Pokemon packs for the sole purpose of opening them for an ultra rare Charizard, throwing the rest away, you have no intention of playing with these cards, and you are making it so little kids cannot get them off the shelves, and then you are selling these cards at a premium because you know that you and a bunch of other adults have monopolized the market. I hope you know I think you're a scumbag, and that you should be ashamed of yourself.
I just want secret, holo rare, ultra rare, whatever.
That's awesome. I'm glad
She's so cool.
I'm glad you want that. It's good that you want that for you. I am calling out the Pokemon trading card scalpers. I don't know if you know. Do you know what's going on in the Pokemon community right now?
Yeah.
It is pathetic. You should be ashamed of yourself if you're doing it. And I don't want you listening to my podcast. Yeah.
Spencer, do you want to hear about the most ridiculous Pokemon thing that has ever been made?
Is it not Hey You Pikachu?
No, it's not Hey You Pikachu.
What is it?
It's called Magical Pokemon Journey. And it is a romance manga. Debuted in 1997.
Hold on. This is the manga that I read.
Yeah, it's so good.
Okay, this is like a core memory of mine.
Amazing.
It's so good.
I go deep looking for this. Last night, but this manga is excellent. If you ever want to read it, but basically, it follows Pokemon trainers and like teenage Pokemon trainers in their like slice of life and romance things. It has,
and they've got like a couple Pokemon with them, right?
Oh yeah, they all like they're not like battling much or like involved with that.
I read this. This is a core memory of mine. I am going to go and buy this manga because I could not remember where this came from in my memory banks, West. But I probably read like 6 of these from the library.
There's weirdly one of them. It's about like Coconut is in the title of it. That like is like minimum $100 on eBay. But
we have to circle back though before we go into Pokemon music because I do want to talk about that. We actually haven't mentioned one of my favorite pieces of Pokemon media, which is Pokemon Origins.
Oh my gosh! Yes, that is actually just one of the like top 5 pieces of Pokemon media of all time. It's so good. It distills everything so well.
Yeah.
Tell me about it, Spencer.
So if you have ever wanted to spend $6 and really enjoy your life, you can actually... So Amazon has this feature where you can pay for a specific channel, right? And in the Pokemon one, it's not that good right now. I still pay for it. but they actually cut out a bunch of the stuff that they gave other stuff to. But basically everything that doesn't have unique other streaming service, you get access to all of it. So for a while, you actually had access to all of Pokemon on there. Right now, I think you have access to the first 15 episodes of Season 1, all of Season 2, all of Season 3, all of Season... like, everything else. But you'd never have access to Pokemon the first movie. But one of the things you do get access to is Pokemon Origins. And if you've ever played Red and Blue, you have wondered, is this Ash Ketchum? And the answer is no.
Nope, not at all.
It is not Ash Ketchum. It is the story of Red and Blue. And if you've ever wanted to see that story in anime form introduce you to Pokemon X and Y, this is the anime for you.
I'm getting chills.
It's so good.
So cool.
It is so good.
I was so hyped for X and Y after watching this too.
It is the best. In my opinion, outside of probably Pokemon the first movie and Pokemon I Choose You, it maybe even better than those. It is so good. And it's probably because the reason I would rate it low is because I do think you need to be a Pokemon fan to really appreciate. One, the music is like straight up just high fidelity music from
the games.
Like, it's so good.
I would go back and listen to the Lavender Town one right now. I would go watch that right now because I love Lavender Town music.
Yeah,
it's so good.
I mean,
so creepy.
It is an anime of the video game with bonus content is how I would describe this. And for a lot of kids, like the first time you had this type of experience was when you got to watch Gold on Toonami in that anime. And I think that was only 2 episodes or something. 5.
No. I'm raising my hand because the first time I had this experience was watching the 3 or 4 episodes of the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon anime. So
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's great.
I'm
gonna have to watch that. But no, Pokemon Origins is something we haven't mentioned yet. And Pokemon. So in order, my favorite Pokemon. Wes won't do this because he loves all Pokemon. But like in order, my favorite Pokemon are number 1 Charizard X, number 2 Greninja, and so and then probably I think that Scizor is up in my top 4 and other stuff. But watching Charizard X come to life and fight Mewtwo is one of the, by the way, spoilers, hypest moments ever. And the music for this anime is so good. The whole anime. You should watch it. If you are a Pokemon fan and have not watched Origins, it's $6 on Amazon to get the Pokemon channel. You could do it in one day. It is so good.
It's an easy one-day binge. It's incredible. Every episode's like 12 or 13 minutes long.
And the music. The
whole experience is just incredible. And Spencer, I will rank my top 3 Pokemon. Thank you very much. And I can do it easily.
Is it Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur? Because I don't know that counts.
No. Bulbasaur, Mamoswine, Espeon, baby.
My kid got one of my he has one of my favorite evolutions now. My kid's first Pokemon he ever got was a stuffed Eevee, and he loves it. Let's actually talk about music as we wrap up. This was a big conversation before the episode started, but I have a few things to shout out. I think it's the I Choose You CD.
It's classic.
It's not that.
It's a classic, but yeah.
What is the CD called?
Taking too long. Worry about it off air.
That's okay. No. I want to call it out. It is TBA. 2BA, because it's the To Be a Master album.
Yeah.
Dude, snap that off. I remember my friends getting it. I had 2 friends that got the CD, and then I burned it. Because you Zennials, you have no idea.
Hey, we had a new burning of it, which was just downloading
it off the internet. But like, I'm just gonna read this. We've got the full Pokemon theme song. Listen, I'm not a fan of Jason Page's voice. but you get the full theme song. You've got To Be a Master. You got Viridian City. Jason Page actually does a great job on that one. What kind of Pokemon are you? My Best Friend. Ooh, great song. Everything Changes, not as great. The Time Has Come. Pikachu's Goodbye. Makes you cry. Let's go. Pokemon Dance Mix. And then Double Trouble. My son asked for this song on repeat for weeks. For weeks. Together Forever. Total bop. The entire Pokerap. This CD was lit. And Pokemon music, I'm just going to say it. Pokemon music is great. Like the Pokemon theme songs, like anime theme songs are already good. But Pokemon music, you've got Born to Be a Winner, you've got the original Pokemon theme song, you've got Pokemon World, you've got a New World, like the whole thing. Pokemon music, I mean, even in the games, like holy crap.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Pokemon video game music that will forever stay in my head. I probably the battle music for Pokemon that's like most of my head is Gen 3 Ruby Sapphires, which is like super classic. I love the Viridian Forest theme. I would die, literally die, to be able to play the Lavender Town theme song because it is just the most discordant, creepy thing I've ever heard. The Gold and Silver biking song is like stuck in my head forever, especially the Heart Gold Soul Silver version of it. Pokemon video game, I mean, video game music has this special quality to it where like it's this like background through these incredible memories and moments, and like in aggregate becomes incredibly important to you, even though you almost never notice it as you're doing it. But Pokemon video game music for me is especially important, and it's just so much fun.
I think that, man, I'm like hearing all of it right now. That's so weird. Like I'm like hearing.
Yeah.
Also, now I'm also seeing Ash doing that in the anime where he's doing the song and Misty's standing behind him. Oh man, Pokemon music it's something else. West, if somebody got all the way through this episode for some reason and is not a Pokemon fan, what would you say to them to like get them, like how should they jump in?
How should you jump in? Anywhere. Find something that you enjoy. I'd say that the things that like provide like the best base level, like jump right in, get this experience, enjoy it, get a little bit of the nostalgia, get a little bit of what's new in the game and modern. Pokemon XY is probably the best game to jump into in the modern era.
That would be my recommendation too.
Because it has a little old, little new. It's really good. Has lots to offer. Is a lot of game time.
You know what? West? I actually have an idea. Leave us a review on iTunes, or subscribe on YouTube and leave a comment on this episode. And I will give away a copy of Pokemon X and Y and a Nintendo DS to my favorite.
Hot diggity.
I actually think that Pokemon XY is the perfect entry point into Pokemon. I think that it is, if you've gotten through this podcast, you got to this point, leave a comment, leave a review. Whichever one, I'll look at them in 1 month from today, which is 3/9, and I'll reach out.
4/9.
Today is 3/9.
Yeah, today is 3/9.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'll even do it a month after publish, which is probably later this week. But I'd love to give out 3DS and XY to somebody, because I think, especially if somebody hasn't played it or stuff like that. But I think that Pokemon is this. I mean, there's a reason it is the most successful franchise to ever exist, and we haven't even mentioned that in this conversation.
Mouse have ears, but he also have tail, and he do Thundershock.
Yeah.
That's the reason why, everyone. By the way, if you didn't know, it's Pikachu.
Yeah. It's true.
Think of all the like could have beens in Pokemon. Like the Clefairy could have been the mascot. Like the way that like have you seen like the really early conceptions of the starters? Like the like really like weird and willowy like Bulbasaur one or
The Kangaskhan Kong one will always bug me. Like forever, I will always be bugged by the Kangaskhan evolution tree.
Our world could have been so different.
Just better. It could have just been better. Just why does Marowak not evolve into Kangaskhan West?
I don't know. Would it be sadder if like a Kangaskhan had died in the story?
Why does it need to be like the Marowak can still die and be the mom of a Cubone without it having evolved into Kangaskhan?
Yeah, but then you don't get cool moments of like the Cubone being.
That's so much worse. Stop. It's already sad. It's already sad. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. You can find me at Spencer38. You can find West at East_monotone. Like, subscribe, and review to win a DS. Well, technically a 3DS.
Yeah.
And
a copy of Pokemon X or Y.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, so much. I love Pokemon. And goodbye. I'm going to stop recording.
That's fine.